not prepared. I was not prepared at all for any of this. Oh, God.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Hello everyone. Oh, now it's starting to get stupid. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 2 of the Fevered Book Review. Our book this week is Binti, that one right there, not her. This Binti by Nnedi Okorafor. This book is really interesting to me. It defies what I think of when I think of a science fiction book. Now, it has a lot of the elements of a traditional science fiction. I mean, we travel to space, we start on Earth. The main character, Binti, her perspective is so wildly different from my own that it becomes something different to me. Binti is a novella, to be more exact. On my Kindle, it's about 98 pages, so for me, it was a really quick read. I got it done in a couple sittings, just because a lot of times I read right before I go to sleep. The book is set, from what I can gather, about 300 years in the future. It starts off in what would be Namibia in the future. Our main character, Binti, is from the Himba tribe. Today, I think they're called the when you refer to them as a group, I think it's referred to as the OvaHimba, if Wikipedia wasn't lying to me. There's a lot of interesting things that come from this setting. A lot of things that you don't usually see, and that's this mix of indigenous peoples with technology. Coming from that, there's this mixing in this book of technology with kind of almost a spiritual aspect you get when you read through it. It gives you the feeling that in the future they've melded the two, they put them together, and they occupy the same space. Binti is what is known as a harmonizer, and she builds astrolabes. Astrolabes are devices that are used to navigate. Ships use them to navigate, and they're used to plot the course of stars through the sky. But in this future, astrolabes have taken on a new meaning, and astrolabes, it almost seems like they're the cell phones of today. It almost kind of reminds me of the discs in Tron, like how they have all of your information on it, and they are you. They are a representation of you. They carry all your necessary information on them. Binti, along with her father, make some of the best astrolabes that have ever been made. They have this skill called treeing. Treeing seems to be some type of quantum computation. Anytime she encounters a situation where she has heightened emotions or she needs to figure out exactly what's happening around her really quickly, she trees, and she goes into a sort of trance-like state where she evaluates all the possibilities, or is running through equations in her head, rapid fire, all over the place. Kind of like you would see, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, what was the movie with Russell Crowe where he was John Nash? A Beautiful Mind. Kind of like a John Nash in A Beautiful Mind, where he looks all over the place and sees patterns. Kind of like that. That's the impression I got from this. Even among her people, Binti is special. She is very, very smart, and one of the main points of conflict in this book is that she is accepted to a very prestigious university. I'm going to butcher this name, like I hopefully didn't butcher Nnedi's name. I tried YouTubing it to find out what it was, and I think I got it. But she is accepted to Omza University. Her family doesn't want her to go, and even she has a small part of her that doesn't want her to go because she has traditional values that she likes to uphold, and one of them is the Himba people. They like to stay on the planet. As it says in the book, they like to look inward rather than go outward. It's a very much a fish out of water tale. Omza University is very prestigious, like I said, but only 5% of its student population is human. So this is a universe where there are other aliens, and you do actually get to see one or two other different types of aliens, or different species in this book. One of these species are the Meduse, or Medusa. There's an E at the end of it, it's not like the Greek myth. They are a race of kind of jellyfish people who no one has been able to talk to in a very long time. The dominant race of people in the universe, the Kush, They have been at odds with the Medusa for a very long time, it seems, and they have a tenuous peace drawn together that keeps them from attacking each other. A peace which may or may not be broken when Binti finally does go to space, because OMSA University is in space, it's not on Earth. And that's where we meet our Medusa characters. Hold on a second. Little Mino. Or as Doc Holliday might say. There are a lot of tiny tidbits that are touched upon but never fleshed out. For instance, the way people are traveling into space, at least in this story, the ships are giant genetically engineered shrimp, are living, breathing entities that are navigated through space. Come on, that's amazing. Can you imagine you get to fly to space inside of something that you could, if you're hungry, maybe tear off a hunk, dip it in some cocktail sauce, and pop that shit in your mouth? Ah, what luxury! Because the Himba people, they are a real people today. You can look them up in, like I said, in Namibia. But one of the things that the Himba people do is I think it's called Otjize, or Otjize. Once again, I might be just butchering that, and I'm sorry for that. Otjize is a red clay substance that people make using oil and spices and clay, and rub it on their skin. The Himba live in an area where water isn't necessarily readily available. The water that is available should be used for drinking and not for necessarily cleaning. So they rub the clay on themselves. It's kind of a shield against dirt. And then once the Otjize rubs and falls off, it takes dead skin cells with it. So it's kind of a cleaning agent. They rub it on their skin and on their hair. So if you've ever seen pictures taken of any indigenous people, of some indigenous people in Africa, and they have kind of a slightly red sheen to them, that might be Otjize. Alright, I'm going to read my favorite line from the book. It was kind of hard choosing, but I like the ebb and flow of this one. When I'd sit in the desert, alone, listening to the wind, I would see and feel the numbers the way I did when I was deep in my work in my father's shop. And those numbers added up to the sum of my destiny. Wonderful writing. Absolutely wonderful writing. I love this book. There's so much about this book that touched me just the right way, or hit me just the right way. I've never read any of Nnedi Okorafor's work before. I'm looking forward to it now, knowing that there's this fresh perspective out there. Okay, so arbitrary rating time. I am going to give this story 3 delicious shrimp ships. Wow, try to say that 3 times fast. 3 delicious shrimp ships. 3 delicious shrimp ships. 3 delicious shrimp ships. Wow, that's bad. 3 delicious shrimp ships out of... I'm just going to give it 3 shrimp ships. That's it. That's all you get. 3 delicious shrimp ships. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Links to the things that I've talked about will be down in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the other side.